fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour pass. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him, then let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race that made merchandise out of my abuse. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take ground, take ground, take ground. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth, nigga, cool yo. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay dearly. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, where the truth sit, hey, where warriors dwell. Be wise with them weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt, I'm gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die, so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that mean? Fall on his ass. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Long live one West. Say what? Long live one West. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up. I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down.
Yeah, yeah. UPK shit, man, One West. Hey. I'm a UPK nigga, I'm stuck in my ways. That's on them, letting cowards fill up they ranks. Goddamn, lost tribes got them following waves. Loyalty a lifestyle, nigga, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a saint, no New Orleans, it's going up. Next spot, we at the B&B. I'm turned up, I'll pull up in the SRT. Burning rubber, hey, UPK shit. Look, met her at the club, told her pull up to the lobby. She know I'm in the coat, we're all black, no Illuminati. This my other half shit, I can't move without it. These my motherfucking brothers, yeah, what I'm gonna do without them, yeah. If it's beef, I can't wait to sink my teeth in. Niggas going overboard, they off the deep end. Why you tripping off that hoe? That's some weak shit. Told him put me in the game cause I love defense. Yeah, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Yeah, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. fuck you thought. Ayy, let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog. Ayy, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call? I ain't gotta settle. I got options, ma. No, I stand on business. My name not Tazar. I'll pop you with this pocket rock. Feed a nigga shells like a taco truck. Ayy, this bitch got sound effects. It go pew pew pew. I ain't trippin' on no drink, got bottles in a room. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, bitch, it's 12 a.m. Look at them, they ain't none of us and we ain't them. I told him, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting. Want me to call, yeah. UPK shit, man, you already know what it is. It's the 55th annual Passover, man, turn up. We gon' do this shit the UPK way, not the other way. You hear me? Yeah.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General Yohana, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues.
Never knew a goddamn maybe
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Wednesday night history class. Also, remember, check out Commanding General Yohana's radio show, 2 a.m. UK time. The class is here Monday through Friday. Let me just where we was. All right. So we're gonna go continue with the whole. We started last week. Allah, we can get finished today. Hold on. So yeah, we're gonna try and get today. Also, any questions? Bear with me. Just try to get the audio. I feel like shouldn't be. Well, you might have to pull yours at the stream. Because remember, if they're both in the stream and we're both here.
Yeah, I'm muted. Shouldn't be done. You're talking. No sweat.
Check. You working on?
Good.
The audio. Oh, actually, that's muted. That's only if you talk. If you get what I mean. So only if you talking through that one. If you get what I mean.
Oh, I see why you talk now.
1, 2, 3. Where's it coming through?
Plug this into your laptop properly. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me. All right, somebody give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly. We're just working out the audio. I believe we might be ready to go. Hold on, bear with me 1 second.
What are the settings as well? See this USB.
I don't think I can. You know, I got no mouse. Bear with me.
Audio.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, yes, okay. We're going to jump right in. Lucky, go ahead.
Right, some people find it surprising that Guy Fawkes, the man who played such a central role in a Catholic terror plot, was born and raised into a Protestant family.
So now, most people didn't even know that Guy Fawkes was raised into a Protestant family. How was he raised into a Protestant family? His original father was a Protestant, but his father died when he was young, and his mom remarried a Catholic, and that's how Guy Fawkes became Catholics. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Khan. But as we shall see, this is just one of the things that many of the gunpowder plotters had in common.
So imagine all of these Catholics. A lot of things they had in common is that what they grew up Protestant. So a lot of them grew up as Protestants, and in later when they got to about 17, 18, they converted to Catholicism. But before that, a lot of them was born Protestants. Yes, lucky. Go ahead.
Khan. Alongside Guy Fawkes himself in his years was Christopher White, commonly called Kit, with his brother John, known as Jack, was also at the school 2 years above Guy and Kit. The Wrights were the sons of John and Ursula Wright of Plowland Hall, Holderness, and were born Protestants.
So now, some of the other men involved in the gunpowder plot, they were born Protestants. The reason most people don't know the names of the other men born in the part of the gunpowder plot is because they focus on Guy Fawkes, because he's the guy that got caught. He's the guy that got caught in the room under Parliament with all the gunpowder. So that's the reason why people know Guy Fawkes only and don't know the others. But he weren't even the main man in the plot. He was just a man that was good at certain things, but he weren't the main man. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Come. But in their 30s, they, along with Guy Fawkes, would find themselves plotters in the gunpowder treason. Another pupil at the school was Robert Middleton, who converted to Catholicism and was executed for his faith in 1601.
So now, another member of the pupils, meaning people that they went to school with, Guy Fawkes and them is seeing Catholics getting executed. They're seeing Catholics getting executed under Queen Elizabeth. So people they went to school with, he's seeing them getting killed because of their faith. So a lot of the gunpowder plot this what led them up to it, because they was like, yo, when Mary was in charge, we was good. Queen Elizabeth took over. Now we're getting killed. We're losing our land. We're getting fined. We've seen people we went to school with get killed. So now they've took it upon themselves like, yo, something has to give. We're not going to let this slide. Slucky, go ahead.
Khan. Edward Oldcorn was at the school too, and later became a Catholic priest, although it was doubtful that he knew much, if anything, of the gunpowder plot. He was linked to it at the time and executed in 1606.
So now he was linked to the plot at the time, and he was executed in 1606. So now a lot of people was linked to this plot, and a lot of people didn't really know much about the plot. A lot of people knew but didn't want to know, because they even told Catholic priests what it was going to do. And the priest had to say, yo, you can't tell me, because if you tell me, I'm going to have to reveal it. So a lot of them didn't want to know. They knew what was happening, but they would rather not know. Because if you don't know, you can always say, well, I didn't know about it. So a lot of them wanted to not know. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
The gunpowder plot of 1605 is a perfect example of how interconnected life at a turn of the 17th century was, particularly for the Catholic community of England. Many of the plotters knew each other beforehand, as with Guy Fawkes and the Wrights, and many were related to each other by marriage.
So can you read that one more time?
The gunpowder plot in 1605 is a perfect example of how interconnected life at the turn of the 17th century was, particularly for Catholic community of England. Many of the plotters knew each other beforehand, as with Guy Fawkes and the Wrights, and were related to each other by marriage.
So a lot of them was related. So a lot of them to school together, even they was related through marriage. So, okay, go ahead.
Canada Council. In late 1587, or possibly early 1588, Guy Fawkes left York behind and went to live with his mother, sister, and nephew, a new stepfather, Salakia, initially at Pulling House in Little Trimble, and then in a much larger property they acquired in Scotland. This was to be a pivotal moment in Guy's life, for while his father had been a lawyer acting in the case of...
So his father was a lawyer, but not a lawyer that you would think. His father was like a clergyman. So his father was like one of them Protestant men that would go collect the money of the Catholics. So that's what his father would do. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Canada Council. Being a lawyer acting in the cause of Protestantism, his new stepfather was a well-known Catholic recusant. Indeed, Scotland was hotbed of Catholic recusancy, being home to leading Catholic families, including the Pullins and the Percys.
So now these were home to Catholic families, including the Pullins and the Percys. And there was a man called Robert Percy who was big in this plot. So Robert Percy, he was one of the big men in this plot. They came together and said, yo, we're going to do ABC. And Robert Percy was one of them. So Lucky, go ahead.
Canada Council. It seems that Dennis also succeeded in converting his wife, Edith, to the Catholic cause. Although she may have always harbored Catholic sympathies, but suppressed them to protect her first husband, Edward's position as an ecclesiastical lawyer. A list was made in 1604 of the known Catholics, i.e. the recusants in Yorkshire.
So now, a list was made in 1604 of the known Catholics. So they had them on a watch list back then. So back then they had the Catholics on like a terrorist list, because they know, yo, these men got the potential to do something crazy. So a lot of them was already on the list. Go ahead.
A list that features both Dennis Bainbridge and his wife. They are listed as Dennis Bainbridge, Gent, his wife, non-communicants.
Go ahead.
Many of the battles of the early years war involved sieges of various durations, with defending troops taking up positions in castles and fortified towers. Gunpowder transformed the art of the siege as well, as specialists in explosives would carefully position charges before firing them using a long train. A slow burning wick that would give the lighter time to reach safety before the huge explosions occurred.
So now they would light a few. Well, they would light the string, and you know them cartoons where the string lights and it goes slowly before the explosives explode. That's what they wanted to do. So now that gives you time to get away before the explosion. So that's what they wanted to do. Because then it's like a firework. When you light a firework, it don't explode straight away. You have a bit of time to get out the way. So just imagine giant fireworks, these that had explosives, and they would need time to get away before it explodes. Lucky, go ahead.
Given his later recruitment to the gunpowder plot and his noted presence at sieges such as Calais, it is likely that Guy Fawkes had become an expert in the dark arts of gunpowder.
See, so that's why they use Guy Fawkes. Why? Because he had become an expert in the dark arts of gunpowder. Gunpowder is not a thing that any man could use. Like, you're just thinking, yeah, gunpowder, we can just use it and it works. No. There's certain things where you have to know what you're doing. Let the average man mess around with gunpowder, he's going to blow himself up, man. The average man is going to blow himself up. Now, he was a specialist in gunpowder because why? He was like, apparently was a good swordsman as well. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Guy's prowess as a soldier is demonstrated by his rise through the ranks of the Spanish Army's English regiment.
See? And Guy Fawkes was a man that was in the army. He was a soldier in the army, and he rose through the army because he was skilled at war. So don't think he was just some random man with gunpowder. He was a man that was actually skilled in certain things. Go ahead.
Eventually reaching the rank of alferez, which is similar to the English rank of ensign, just below that of a lieutenant. Military records at the Royal Archives in Brussels also show that by 1603, he was being considered for promotion to the rank of captain.
See, they was going to promote Guy Fawkes to the rank of a captain, man. Like, well, it is. A lot of people hear Guy Fawkes and think, oh, these is regular men. No. These was men that was skilled in certain things and knew about gunpowder and they knew about all these things. And he was going to get a raise, man. They said this in the archives in Brussels. So Lucky, go ahead.
Here's one. King James' other great terrors was gunpowder, as it is.
And now, imagine this. You know what? King James would be afraid of gunpowder because they blew up the house that his father was in, man. Remember when they blew up the house where Lord Darnley was in? So imagine that your father died because someone used gunpowder, and now you're hearing about gunpowder again. That definitely would be a fear, man. Because in Scotland, when they killed King James's father, and what's his name, Lord Bothwell, they tried to blow him up, and then I think he's escaped through a window and they've strangled him in the garden, and placed him there and in the garden strangled. They tried to blow it up, and now that's why King James would have had not really a fear, but this is why King James would have been like, yo, gunpowder's nothing to play with because his father died that way. Go ahead.
Khan. And it is easy to explain why it is held such a horror for him. James's childhood saw him placed on the Scottish throne aged just 13 months, but it was a base tragedy rather than a regal fairy tale.
So they're saying the reason he got the throne weren't because of a nice fairy tale, it was because of a tragedy. Go ahead.
Khan. James Stewart was the son of Mary, today as Mary Queen of Scots, and Henry Stewart, Lord of Darnley.
And Henry Stewart, Lord Darnley, man. So now, King James, his father got killed. Similar situation, gunpowder plot. Obviously, they framed his mother, Lord Bothwell, took her, forced her to marry him. And the people said she was involved in the plot. And then after all of that, she just, had to go to jail for like 18, 19 years under Queen Elizabeth before she was killed. But that's why it mentions King James. and gunpowder because his father died that way in Scotland. Yes, lucky, go ahead. And the reason is because I think the mom was meant to spend the night with the dad in the castle where he was, and she didn't attend. So they're like, "Yeah, that's dodgy. She knew not to be there." So that's the narrative that they're saying. But it's lucky, go ahead.
Unknown to him, 2 barrels of gunpowder had been placed beneath his bed chamber. Darnley survived the initial explosion but was caught by his assassins running from the church.
They put gunpowder under his bed to blow him up. They tried to blow him up, but he escaped the explosion, and then they caught him and strangled him to death. Go ahead.
Caught by his assassins running from the church and strangled to death wearing just his nightshirt.
So now they strangled him. This man's just got on a nightshirt. Listen, man, I mean, you know when you're young, your parents tell you, oh, you must wear pajamas because you don't know what's going to happen, man. You get me? You only get caught in just your t-shirt. So sometimes you got to have the pajamas on, man. Listen, I seen a picture of there was a fire and a man had to come down with just his drawers and then there was ripped in that. This is why. Sometimes you got to, sometimes you got to have some clothes close by just in case. Yeah, you got to have some clothes close by just in case, man. Lord Darnley was just out there in his drawers and a t-shirt, man, and he's running, and the assassins caught him and strangled him. Yes, lucky, go ahead.
Sir. Thus it was that James Stewart, son of Mary and Henry Stewart, unless the Rizzio rumors were true, acceded to the Scottish throne as a 1-year-old. He would hold onto it for nearly 58 years. Gaining power at such an early age must have been...
He was on that throne for a long time, 58 years, man. Who's the longest serving monarch? Queen Elizabeth, right? I think she got longer than that. Didn't she get like... Nah, she died at about 97.
The one BC gun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant last one.
No, so I think she was on the throne for about 70 years. I think she got some kind of jubilee for 70 years on the throne. That reign sounds long, right? Listen, Christ's reign is going to be forever, man.
That's right.
Listen, what these monarchs celebrate ain't going to be nothing from that day. That's lucky, go ahead.
Canada on concert. Gaining power at such an early age must have exerted a profound effect on his ego. But he would also have a lifelong fear of assassination.
And listen, that's most black men's fear, that they got a lifelong fear of assassination, man. When you're on top, you feel like everybody's out to get you. So now, of course, you're gonna be like, damn, are they gonna come and get me today? You're gonna have to have tight security, man. And imagine him hearing about all the plots, and then he hears about the gunpowder plot that almost was successful. Listen, man, that'll make you paranoid for life. Go ahead.
Cancer, and especially of gunpowder. It was gunpowder and its aftermath that had swept his father and mother away from him while still a baby. Although his mother Mary lived until her son James was 21, they would never see each other after her exile.
Yeah, read that part one more time.
Cancer. It was gunpowder and its aftermath that had swept his father and mother away from him while still a baby. Although his mother Mary lived until her son James was 21, they would never see each other after her exile.
See? So when people say King James had sex with his mom, stupid, don't make no sense. His mother was took away from him when he was a baby, and they would never see each other after her exile. So much that when Mary used to send letters to James, to her son, the people in charge of delivering the letters wouldn't let him get the letters, man. She used to write letters and talk about, I miss you, I ain't seen you from you as a baby. And he used to want to speak to his mom and dad, used to be like, nah, don't. There's a lot of people in between that mother and son relationship. So when people say, King James had sex with his mom and killed his mom, that's a lie. First of all, King James ruled Scotland, and Scotland didn't have no power over England. England and Scotland weren't linked at that stage. At that stage, Scotland had its own monarch, England had its own monarch, until King James unified it. So King James couldn't stop his mother getting killed even if he wanted to. Why? Because she's on the English rule, because she's locked up in England. and his in Scotland, and the two ain't intertwined until he began to rule over both of them. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Canada and Cancer. James's longevity as Scottish king is testament to his political astuteness, if nothing else, at a time when one false move could see even kings or queens swiftly disposed of. Whatever his true feelings were, he showed great civility towards Thomas Percy, and while not being fully committed on any subject, he did enough to convince Percy that he supported tolerance towards Catholics, even if he wouldn't legalize open Catholic worship.
So now the Catholics, when King James was in office, they thought, yes, we can sit down and reason with him. And he showed them tolerance. But after a while, they weren't happy with what was happening. They thought, yo, we're getting a new monarch. Everything is going to fall into place how they wanted it. But obviously it didn't. And then that's why they was mad at King James. And they felt like, yo, he tricked them. Go ahead.
Thomas Percy was elated at the conversations he had with the king, and the news spread throughout the Catholic community.
Percy spoke to King James and he spreaded some information like, yeah, the king said us Catholics can blah, 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 blah. And that wasn't true. But it spread throughout the Catholic community and they was all excited thinking change is going to come. Go ahead.
Whether by Chinese whispers or by Percy's own exuberance, the half promises and suggestions of the king became amplified. That's it, and that's Lucky, sir.
Lucky, go ahead.
He made Mr. Thomas Percy very generous promises to favor Catholics actively.
So now they said King James made them promises to favor Catholics, and people always get caught up with that. Like if you vote, you hear them talking about, yeah, because if you vote for this, this is going to happen. You get generous promises, and then when it don't come to fruition, you be upset. So Thomas Percy sat down with King James, thought Catholics was going to get a better life. It didn't turn out so. Go ahead.
Come, and not merely to free them from the bondage of persecution in which they were then living.
So the Catholics felt like they was in bondage and under persecution. Go ahead.
Indeed, he would admit them to every kind of honor and office in the state without making any difference between them and the Protestants. At the last, he would take them under his complete protection. The king promised all this and much more than I write here.
So now he wrote this to Catholics, yo, the king promised this, and this is what he said will happen. He will take us under his wing, and he promises us protection. That's what they believe they was promised. As like a word.
Come. Not only that, but in order to make himself more acceptable to the Catholics, the king pledged his word as a prince. He took Percy by the hand, then he swore to carry out all that he had promised.
So now Percy's gone back to the Catholic community and said, yo, King James promised us blah, 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 blah. He promised us we're going to have a better life. Promised us they're not going to oppress us. They're not going to treat us bad. He promised all of these things, and they fell for it. So Lucky, go ahead.
Whether he shook Percy's hand or not, James certainly didn't put anything in writing.
See? So listen, whether he said that or not, we will never know because we wasn't there in the 1600s. But now King James never put nothing in writing, which means more than likely he didn't say it. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Come. Nevertheless, Catholics began to look forward to his presumed succession, particularly as it was popularly believed that his wife Anne of Denmark had secretly converted to Catholicism.
So they believed that his wife Anne of Denmark secretly converted to Catholicism, and then they was like, yo, his wife's a Catholic, so he's going to have a soft spot for us. So that's what they're thinking. His wife's a Catholic, so there's going to be a soft spot. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Senior figures at the Vatican even believed that James himself, following the example of his wife, might one day convert to the old faith, but in this they were sorely disappointed.
See, so they thought, yo, even King James might become a Catholic. So they're thinking England's going to become back a Catholic country, and they're all going to live great, and his wife's become a Catholic, so he's going to become a Catholic, and they're looking at it like that. They're getting their hopes up, thinking about this great change that wasn't going to come. Lucky, go ahead, Benjamin.
Canada and Cancer. Not all Catholics believed King James' supposed plans for tolerance, and although he did initially put an end to the fines for
So he put an end to the fines. Remember, we looked at the price of the fines last week. Them fines was expensive, and he put an end to it. Go ahead.
friendly relations with Catholics did not last long. If anything, the persecution soon grew in severity along with the fines. The new king also brought Scotland and England together in a new union and sealed peace at last with Spain. This was the deadly combination.
Read that part one more time, Salakia.
If anything, the persecutions soon grew in severity along with the fines. The new king also brought Scotland and England together in a new union.
So he brought Scotland and England together in a new union, meaning he unified Scotland and England. Go ahead.
And sealed peace at last with Spain.
Why? Because if you remember anything about Elizabeth, her and Spain had the Spanish Armada, and then he's made peace with Spain. So guess what? Now, when the Catholics was going to use Spain to come and overthrow England, King James made peace with Spain. So now these Catholics can't get help from Spain no more. And it happens all the time. Once countries unify, you can no longer get help from that country because they're cool with the monarch of your country. So now these Catholics now, they can't get help from Spain no more. So what do they have to do? Take it upon their own hands. So now they have to come up with the gunpowder plot. Go ahead.
This was the deadly combination that led directly to the events of November 1605.
So now this is what led to the events, because now Spain's cool with England, and they hated that because Spain was against England. Why? Because Spain was Catholic, England was Protestant. But King James, being able to unify places, he made them all cool. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
August 1604, the Treaty of London was signed at Somerset House. This brought to an end 19 official years of Anglo-Spaniard War.
See, so now they signed the treaty. This brought to an end the English versus Spanish War, meaning they was warring for 19 years. King James came in office, spoke with the Spanish, and brought that to an end. Go ahead.
A conflict that in reality had been raging since the death of Queen Mary decades earlier.
See, and this was raging since Queen Mary, because Queen Mary was Catholic. She died, and her Protestant sister got the throne. So that's when that war started. Go ahead.
While Guy and Kit had been kept under virtual arrest for fear that they would launch a plot. 2 actual plots had already been attempted and foiled during their time in Spain. They were known as the biplot and the main plot, as it was suspected that the same masterminds may have been behind both attempts on King James's life.
See, so there was many attempts on King James's life. People are thinking, yeah, there was only one attempt on his life, but no, there was a ton of attempts on his life. Go ahead.
The biplot was a plan to kidnap King James and force him to repeat anti-Catholic legislations. The plotters also wanted some anti-Catholic courtiers to be removed.
So now they wanted him to come back, and whatever was said bad about Catholics, to take those words back. That's what they wanted him to do. So they planned to kidnap him. There was a time when they even planned to kidnap his daughter and so forth. They had plenty of plans to kidnap King James and his kids. Go ahead.
Notably, Sir Robert Cecil. Unfortunately for them, and predictably, Cecil already knew of the plot before it had a chance to be enacted.
So now I think his name's Robert Cecil. I think it's Cecil. So I think they pronounce it Cecil. So yeah, Robert Cecil is like it was like an advisor I'm gonna say it was like an advisor to the king or the queen. So he was like a close man advisor. And for some reason, Robert Cecil, I don't know how these would find out anything back then without technology, but they was finding out information. He would find out who wanted to kill the king, who wanted to do this, who wanted to do that. Which lets you know, back in the biblical days, when people could find out about plots, it lets you know it's true. You're just thinking people are only finding about plots now because of the internet. No. The Lord had things in place for you to have, for you to find out if someone's committed a murder in the city, man. Because you bring them, they wash their hands over the heifer. That's how they would do it back then. Now, Robert Cecil, he would find out from people this plot, and then a lot of them he would ignore as, yeah, that's not true. And some of them he would have to take serious. So, okay, go ahead.
Catholic priests William Watson and William Clark were executed, and Sir Walter Raleigh, thought to be involved with both the by and the main plots, was imprisoned in the Tower of London. The main plot.
There was like high-end prisoners because you go to the Tower of London. That's like a big prison. That's not no little holding prison. That's where prisoners go. They'll put like your big prisoners in there. If you go to the Tower of London, it's because you committed some mad crime and you're a big prisoner, and they need guards 24/7. It's like maximum security. Go ahead.
The main plot of July 1603 was thought to be the work of Raleigh and Henry Brooke, Lord Cobham, and its aim was to assassinate King James and replace him with his Catholic cousin, Lady Arbella Stuart.
So now they wanted to assassinate King James and replace him with his Catholic cousin. So because England used to be a Catholic country, they wanted a Catholic monarch. Listen, them Catholics and Protestants used to go to war, man. They used to kill each other. I'm telling you, the way they used to kill each other, like no tomorrow. There's lists of how much people was assassinated, and there's more people who would be unrecorded, who'd be assassinated, but it's not recorded. Even back then, they used to make like underground bunkers for people to go through and hide Catholics in, and so forth. It was that bad in England at one stage that they used to hide them in these underground tunnels. Apparently, they still got some of these underground tunnels today. Lord, did I get to go to one and see how it was structured and what it's actually like to go in an underground tunnel. But it's lucky. Go ahead.
It was uncovered during investigations into the byplot, and saw Cobham take his place alongside Raleigh in the Tower, although he was released shortly before his death in 1618. Within months of King James coming to the English throne, 2 attempts had been made against him. One that would have seen him killed. The more peace-minded Catholics were appalled, correctly foreseeing that James would.
So now the more peace-minded Catholics were appalled. So some people wanted to see him killed, some people didn't. Some Catholics wanted him dead, some didn't. It's like some Christians are radical, some ain't radical. So it was the same back then. Go ahead.
Foreseeing that James would use this as an excuse to turn against England's Catholic population. Initially, however, James praised the Catholics who had helped to foil the plot.
So now some Catholics helped foil the plot, and King James praised those Catholics, and the other Catholics must have been looking at them Catholics like, yo, you like traitors, man. They must have been looking at them like, yo, use like a traitors. We're trying to get him out of here, and use like, keeping him here. And after they've done all of this to us, go ahead.
Notably, the Jesuit father Henry Garnet, who had informed the Privy Council of the byplot when it came to his attention. This toleration was not to last. With memories of his father's faith always in his mind, along with the numerous plots which had involved his Catholic mother, Mary, King James desired to do just what Guy Fawkes had predicted, to drive the papist sect, Slovakia, out of England.
So he said, yo, forget this. I'm going to drive them out of England because he's been around too much death. His father got killed. Afterwards, his mother got killed. He's seen people plotting on his life. He's hearing about people plotting on Elizabeth. He's saying, yo, I might have to just get these out of England, man. Because if I leave them here, one of them are going to come and kill me. Go ahead.
That's that on the slide, sir.
Right, sir. Okay.
Guy Fawkes' role in the gunpowder plot is frequently misunderstood.
So now, Guy Fawkes' role in the gunpowder plot is frequently misunderstood. Most people don't understand Guy Fawkes' role in the gunpowder plot. Go ahead.
In one of two ways, his role is often downplayed so that it becomes little more than the muscle of the operation at the periphery of its planning. He was more than this. Alternatively, some people think of him as the leader of the plot, but while he is certainly the most famous or infamous plotter, that position was held by Robert Catesby.
See, so there's another man that was head of the operation, and it was Robert Catesby. He was head of the operation. People think Guy Fawkes was in charge. No. He's the most famous or infamous. Why is he the most famous? Because he got caught in the thing. He got caught, so that's why. Go ahead.
Catesby was a complicated man, a charismatic leader who could make people bend to his will. It was Robert Catesby who would seal Guy's fate and who in 1605 came close to destroying the whole ruling class of England.
Listen, man, they would have destroyed the whole ruling class of England. Why? Because they would have destroyed all them niggas that was in Parliament, man. All of them that was in there that day would have been blown to smithereens, man. They said that the explosion would have been so bad. And if that happened, that would be something that England would speak about continuously, man. They would speak about it continuously. That would be so horrible. Imagine if that happened, and then in the history books, guess what? We would go to camp and say, yo, you want to know why you're a Catholic? Because this happened in 1605, and this would be the story of what happened. And then Catholics would have to answer for how they got the throne and how they turned England back to a Catholic country. Like, I wonder what lie they would come up with. Surely they would have to wipe it out of the history books. This ain't something that you could keep in the history books if it happened, because people's going to say, okay, so you like blew up a king and made England Catholic, and that's why I'm a Catholic. So if that plot didn't happen, so it would have been a Protestant. And what you'll find out is most of our parents from England and grandparents in Jamaica, because they're a colony of England, they was Protestants. Why? They was Church of England. The reason being is because England was a Protestant country. Now, if England was a Catholic country, they would all be Catholic wearing rosary beads, talking about Mary. Listen, if that happened and England was a Catholic country, all you niggas would be doing Lent. Every last one. It sounds crazy to see a black man doing Lent. It's rare because there's not a lot of Catholics in England. But a lot of you would be celebrating Lent and all of those things if their plan came to fruition. But Slocky, go ahead.
Slocky, sir, if I may, they would on November the 5th, they would be celebrating what they'll be doing, celebrating the Wicca Day, Slocky, sir.
So I'm saying that day they would be celebrating Bonfire Night in reverse. They'll be celebrating the Explosion Day or whatever the hell they would call it. Put it this way, the press would give it some fancy name that makes you think it's right to just go murder who you want. They'll give it some nice name that, in their mind, which justifies them just murdering who they want to murder. But it's like, you go ahead.
Come on, sir. Catesby had revealed his intentions to Jack, and it was a plot both carefully targeted and yet ridiculously broad and ambitious. Catesby had known for a long time that killing the king alone would not be enough, a view shared by Guy Fawkes as he spurned a golden opportunity to kill the king not long before the plot was due to be enacted.
See, so they knew killing the king wouldn't be enough. Why? Because Guy Fawkes had an opportunity prior to kill King James. Because Guy Fawkes was at like a wedding and it was stood right next to King James, right next to him. He had an opportunity to kill him, but they understood that killing the king ain't enough. They needed to get rid of the whole ruling class. So there's no one that's going to offer resistance. Go ahead.
No, to gain tolerance and equality for Catholics, not only the king, but all his ruling lords and counselors must be destroyed completely.
So they wanted to kill the king, his lords, and his counselors. So they wanted to kill the men that was in his court and everything. Because they know we get rid of all of them, we're good to go. And that's what they wanted to do, get rid of all of them. So go ahead.
It must be a blow so complete and terrible that the function of the government would be stopped altogether.
They wanted to kill everything. Go ahead.
Leaving a void that Catesby could fill with a Catholic puppet of his choosing.
He was going to put a Catholic puppet in office that he chooses, that he could control, that he could go to them and say, "Yo, do this, do this, do this." He's like the puppet master. They're on the string, and he's the puppet master. Go ahead.
So, lucky, sorry if I mean so. So he'll use the puppet so that most people wouldn't know that he was behind the plot.
Exactly.
Would say Slovakia.
And also, he wanted to put someone in office that he could control. That's what he would do. Go ahead.
Because Slovakia, sir. Because I would say, why wouldn't him and Guy Fawkes wouldn't assume that like being ahead of the parliament?
Because the reason being is because in order to sit on the throne, you have to have a certain king lineage. So they know they couldn't just sit on the throne, because what will happen? Someone will one day say, "Well, you did it. Let me kill you and sit on the throne." So they believe that the kingship is ordained by God. So then that's why they was going to get another Catholic monarch from somewhere else to put on the throne. So they was going to get the next Catholic heir in line. So that's what they was going to do, get the next Catholic heir in line, and then that one would sit on the throne. Because a regular man can't just kill a king and sit on the throne. Why? Because if that could happen, Oliver Cromwell would have sat on the throne. But he didn't. What Oliver Cromwell did was had all the perks of a king, but it was never the king. He was just Lord Protector and Governor. He called himself Governor and Lord Protector. Yes, lucky. Go ahead.
Testimony summed up Catesby's plot as he revealed it to the men he recruited. Thus, Catesby decided after much reflection to gather together all the enemies of the Catholic religion in England and get rid of them in one single blow. Liberty.
So now, he said, "I'm going to get rid of them in one single blow." At that time, no one knew what he meant. Listen, he meant gunpowder, man. He meant, "I'm going to get rid of them with gunpowder." It's lucky. Go ahead.
Liberty to be restored to Catholics with no resistance. To carry out this resolve, the best way seemed to him to await the reassembly of Parliament, when the three estates of the realm would be together with the king, councillors, Puritans, and bishops. These were all of them determined that in that time a place they would give the final death blow to the Catholic cause. As we have said, in that same moment of time, the plotters hoped to bring upon their heads the evil they had designed for others. They would blow them up with a mine, and the Parliament.
It was like, "Yo, everything they've done evil to us, we're about to do whatever to them. We're gonna blow them up, man." That's what they're saying. Go ahead.
They would blow them up with a mine, and the Parliament House along with them.
And they said, "Blow up the Parliament House along with it." Imagine House of Parliament. They was gonna blow all the up, man. Go ahead.
In this way, the authors of those most cruel laws would be removed along with the very place where they had been made.
Go ahead.
By this means, he, Catesby, also thought that no leader would be left to oppose the papists.
So a papist is like a Catholic, a strict Catholic. So now they was like, yo, once we blow them all up, there's going to be no one left to go against us. So the plan was to blow them up so they could obviously take over England. So Lucky, go ahead.
But what exactly was he being recruited for? Primarily, he was recruited because of his experience in mining and the use of explosives.
Understand this? This was a proper plot. This was a paid plot where, yo, you do this, we do that. They recruited him. Why? Like, understand this? They weren't recruiting people with no skills. They was recruiting people who are skilled. They're recruiting him because why? He knows how to use explosives, which lets you know not every man can use explosives. It's like, really? Not every man should use fireworks? Some people blow their hands off, man. Not everybody should use fireworks because they don't know what they're doing. But Guy Fawkes knew how to use explosives, and he was recruited for that reason. Let's look. Go ahead.
Because of his experience in mining and the use of explosives gained in encounters such as the Siege of Calais. It's all too easy, however, to dismiss this as Guy's only role. For as Thomas Wintour said in his meeting with Hugh Owen, he was wanted not only to oversee the execution of the plot, but for his counsel and help in organizing it. That's it on that, sir.
That's it, Lucky. Go ahead.
Before mass was said, the 5 conspirators had gathered in another room for an essential part of the proceedings. It was there that Guy Fawkes and Thomas Percy placed their hand upon a primer, a book of prayers and devotions to be said at certain times of the day, and repeated what Catesby, Jack Wright, and Thomas Wintour had already done: an oath of fellowship and an oath of secrecy.
See, so they took an oath of fellowship and an oath of secrecy. So they took the oath, and one of them in there broke the oath, and that's how people knew about the plot. They took this oath of secrecy that they're not meant to say nothing, and one of them broke the oath, and that's how they got caught. Go ahead.
They swore before the others present, but more importantly, before God himself.
See? So they said, we swear to God, we're not going to let nobody know nothing. Go ahead.
That they would keep secret whatever they were about to hear, on pain of death and eternal damnation. Swords were unsheathed before them as a symbol, unsheathed before them as a symbol of what anyone who broke the oath could expect.
And they pulled their swords out the sheath, and now they're looking at each other saying, yo, if anyone breaks this code, death is what you're going to get, man. It's like a man pulling a gun at you and saying, yo, if someone finds out about this. So they unsheathed their swords, and they all swore this secrecy, and someone found out about the plot. Why? Because this secrecy, someone breached it and went and told somebody else. Go ahead.
But it was the thought of punishment after death that carried the most weight.
And for most of them, they didn't care about dying, but the punishment after death for revealing the plot is what carried more weight for them. So they was like, yo, we're not going to reveal this plot, because if we do, we're going to go to hell. So a lot of them wholeheartedly believed they're going to go to hell, so they're not going to reveal the plot to no one. Go ahead.
So like I say, for me, that hell would be Hades.
According to them, it would be Hades, and what's the next one they believe in? What's the one where you were in the middle? Purgatory. I think in Purgatory. Yeah, you're in Purgatory, and then I think if you're good, you make it to, I can't remember what it's called. There's 3 places. There's one below. Purgatory's in the middle, where you're there until you're good or whatever. Then you go to heaven, some nonsense like that. But yeah, that's what Catholics believe. That's what England would have been believing if this plot had happened. It's like, you go ahead.
The oath was taken without any hesitation.
They took it without hesitation. I broke it without hesitation. So okay, go ahead.
without yet being told the plan.
So imagine this: they took the oath and didn't even know the plan. And when they found out the plan, one of them broke it. So okay, go ahead.
Guy had pledged his silence and his life. From what, Salakia, from that room, the five entered mass with Father Gerard, the communion, bread, and wine, further sealing the new bond between them.
See, and that's how you know when people do communion with a little piece of bread and a little sip of wine, they get that from Catholics, man. Fake Israelites actually do that, and it comes from Catholics. Like communion just means coming together and eating, man. Communion is just coming together. That's what it is, man. They think communion is eating a little tight slice of a tiny piece of. I can't remember what they call the bread. It's got, I think there's another Christian Catholic name for it. I can't remember what they call it. But they eat a little piece of bread and drink a little shot of wine, and they think that is eating and drinking. That ain't no eating and drinking, man. It's lucky. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So like I say, for me, is their version of the Last Supper.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's their version of the Last Supper. They don't know that at that Last Supper, Christ had wine and all of that stuff, man. Wine, lamb. They don't know he was eating the Passover, man. But it's lucky. Go ahead.
Canada one concert. With the mass over, Gerard left the room, ignorant of their plans, but undoubtedly able to feel the tension in the air.
So now, the man that was praying with, Catholics have a thing that they call holy. I can't remember his name. The man they pray with, whatever his name is. But now, this is the one that usually leads the prayer for them. So this man's they call him Father something. So this man leads the prayer, and they've not said nothing to him about what they're going to do, but he could sense the energy. Sometimes you can sense certain things. Like, it's not hard. Listen, man, if you go around five niggas and they're about to jump you can sense it, man. It's not hard to listen. When someone's about to punch you can sense it. You can see how they're walking up. You can sense certain things. So he sensed it, but he's not fully knowing what it is. Go ahead.
Canada one concert. The men were alone, and it was now that Robert Catesby finally revealed the plan in its minutiae. They would find a suitable property near the House of Lords, and from there...
They said they'll find a suitable property near the House of Lords. Why? Because if they want to blow it up, they need to be close. So, lucky, go ahead.
And from there, tunnel under the building before planting enough gunpowder to completely destroy it and anyone within. At the same time, a group of men would seize the Lady Elizabeth, daughter of King James, with
See,
a view.
So now, after that, they wanted to kidnap King James's daughter. Go ahead.
To seize the Lady Elizabeth, daughter of King James, with a view to installing her as the puppet queen to the new Catholic regime.
See? So now they knew that they would have to have a descendant of James on the throne, and she would have been the queen, because they know they have to get one of the heirs. So she would have been the puppet queen, meaning they would control all her decisions. So she would be on the throne, but they would make all the decisions. And that usually happens with some of your governments. That usually happens with a lot of people. The man that you see, somebody else is telling them what to do. Listen, man, black people really thought Obama was going to save them. You thought he was the man coming up with all them plans. No, it don't work like that, man. There's always someone behind and using them as a puppet. So you think, yep, that person's giving these orders and whatnot, and it's not really that person. Go ahead.
Canada and Khan. Guy wholeheartedly approved of the plan.
And Guy, meaning Guy Fawkes, he approved of this plan. He heard it and he's like, yo, I'm down with that, man. Go ahead.
That's it, sir.
That's it, Salaki. Salaki, go ahead.
It was now that they began to gather some of the materials they would need for their plot, primarily gunpowder and
Now, the
timber,
started materials, gunpowder, and timber. Go ahead.
which were at this point stored in the house that Catesby had rented on the south side of the Thames, across the river from the property Percy had rented.
Go ahead.
By the time the planned explosion, by the time of the planned explosion, the plotters had gathered a huge amount of gunpowder. It is estimated that they had around 2.5 tons contained in 36 barrels, and that this was more than 25 times the amount needed to bring down the House of Lords.
So imagine that. They had more than 25 times the amount needed to bring down the House of Lords. Go ahead.
It would also have devastated the surrounding area to a radius of around 500 meters,
Listen, man,
taking in buildings.
500 meters. Hold on. Let me see how far 500 meters is in miles. Bear with me. Oh, that's not that far. But what? 0.311 miles. That ain't that fast. Lucky, go ahead.
Canada and Cancer, taking in buildings as far away as Westminster Abbey.
So now Westminster Abbey, all of the buildings that came down. Go ahead.
Canada and Can. Guy Fawkes, in charge of the munitions and with a good knowledge of their efficiency, could have ordered this extra gunpowder to make allowance for the effect that damp condition. Guy Fawkes.
That part's going into. He had extra gunpowder because if the gunpowder's damp, it's not going to work. So that's what that part's saying. So lucky, go ahead.
As he started at the pile of barrels.
He knows the expert because a regular man wouldn't know that. A regular man wouldn't even think about what if it's damp. A regular man would just think, yeah, it works. Go ahead.
As he started at the pile of barrels hidden by timber on that fateful night in November 1605, a faint smile may have crossed his lips. This indeed would blow them back to their Scottish mountains.
If what you got to remember is, a lot of the people in England was prejudiced towards Scottish people. They just didn't like Scotland. So imagine this, you're an Englishman and you're hearing about a Scottish man's going to run England. You're not. You're going to like it, man. It's like, just think of it like this. You know how black people get when they hear Peter Andre is playing a black man in Jamaican? Black people are like, yo, this is crossing the line, man. You know how white people get when they heard a black person was playing, what's the Little Mermaid? When they hear black men are playing the Anglo-Saxon movies, they start getting mad about it, man. These lot felt the same way when they're seeing our country is an English country and it's going to be run by a Scottish man. Back then, other countries didn't like other countries. They would look down on certain countries, and English people look down on Scottish people. So, Lucky, go ahead.
One of the subjects discussed by the six was what to do after the explosion had taken place, and specifically how they would be able to get their hands on a member of the royal family that they could then use to further their means.
Now they know if they kidnapped a royal, they could use that to further their means. Go ahead.
At this point, it was suggested that Percy, who was a gentleman pensioner, had easy access to the palace, would enter it and snatch the 6-year-old Duke Charles.
Now they even planned to kidnap Charles I, man. They said, yo, you have access to the palace, so you can go and snatch up Charles, and then they was going to take him and make demands. Go ahead.
Later to be King Charles I, under the guise of taking him to taken into protective custody against any potential threat to his life.
Now they was gonna plan to blow up that, and then they was gonna plan to, you know what, yo, Charles, come with us. They're out to get your life. Come with us. And they was gonna kidnap Charles, and that's when they would have furthered their demands. Now these Catholics make out like they're so religious. Not these ones here, man. You tell me how religious they are and whatnot. I don't think they are, man. Based off this, they ain't religious at all. They wanted to kill and kidnap kids and do everything that they know they're not supposed to do. That's lucky. Go ahead.
That's lucky, sir. If that plot had gone through, as you said, the probably to this day, the when this country becomes Catholic and everything, we're not even sure if they would have spoken up if they were a part of the plot or reveal the plot. So lucky, sir, because it based on their plot, nobody would know, and the country would just be Catholic, because they use a puppet and pull the strings. So lucky, sir.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. England would have changed from a Protestant kingdom to a Catholic one overnight, because they already planned, yo, we're gonna get men to start an uprising. So now they plan to blow up that and start uprising at the same time. But obviously it just didn't go to fruition. Yes, lucky, go ahead.
Guy's role within the plot had been further extended. A ship was to be held in readiness in London. After firing the slow match, Guy would make his way to this boat, which would take him to the continent once more.
So now, after Guy Fawkes was to blow up them, he was meant to make it. He was meant to jump on a horse and make it to a boat and get the hell up out of England. Go ahead.
It would then be his job to make contact with the Pope in Rome, presumably through the auspices of the Jesuit superior in the city, Father Pearsons, and explain why they'd acted as they had. Guy would then rally the English exiles in Rome and Flanders ready to support Catesby and others if required.
He was meant to go to Rome, speak to the Pope, and then all the exiles that was living in Rome. Why was the exiles? Why? Because they was kicked out of England. So he planned to go there and bring all the exiles back so they could fight the remaining Protestants that was here. So lucky, go ahead.
Father Garnet and Robert Catesby were well known to each other. Catesby had provided the priest with shelter under his own roof on many occasions. Catesby reasoned that if he had Garnet's approval of his plot, he could use this to allay the fears and misgivings that anyone else recruited to the plot may have. He also knew, however, that Father Garnet was unusually peace-loving and conciliatory for a Jesuit priest, so he would have to be approached carefully. A meeting was arranged between the two men on the 8th of June, 1605, probably in a room within an inn. After copious amounts of wine, Catesby dropped a question into the conversation: whether the church thought it was lawful to kill an innocent man or men for the greater good.
So this nigga got drunk and he's asking these questions, yo, is it lawful to kill an innocent man or men for the greater good? So he's got drunk and he's running off his mouth and he's asking them kind of questions now. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Catesby would ask Garnet to hear his confession, but guessing something of this content and realizing the danger it would put him in, Father Garnet refused.
Now, this man didn't want to hear his confession. Why? Because he knows if he hears this confession, now he's in a position to say, nah, you can't do that, it's wrong. So he would rather not know. It's easier for him to not know what's going on or what's happening. It's a lot easier. Go ahead.
Canada and Cancer. Father Garnet was bound by the seal of his by seal of the confessional. He had gathered that Catesby had a plan that would risk innocent lives.
Because
But
he
if he
asked that question, he knew it was something to do with that, but he didn't want to really hear. Because if he hears, then he knows what's going on. He would rather live like he don't know. That way, yeah. When it's mentioned to him afterwards, he can act like he didn't know nothing. Go ahead.
But if he heard this confession, he too could be held complicit, and his sacred code would not allow him to inform the authorities.
And if he heard it, he could be complicit because they're gonna be like, "Yo, you're part of it." And if he don't reveal it, no, if he does reveal it, he's broke. His plan is not meant to give out the information. So if you don't give out the information, he's damned if he does or if he don't. So he would rather not know because he don't want to get put in that position. Go ahead.
Garnett took to trying to put Catesby off his plans, whatever they were, by referring repeatedly to the Pope's instruction to England's Catholic to seek peaceful remedies and to leave their fate in the hands of God.
So he told them to seek peaceful remedies, and these men didn't want a peaceful remedy. That's not what they wanted to hear, man. So like, hold on, wait. Let me see if I need this slide because we're coming up to the end of the class. Yeah, go ahead.
Around the time of Parliament's Around the time of Parliament's prorogation, Guy decided to make a further check on the cellar and the gunpowder within it. He had placed certain indicators invisible to others that would show whether anyone had entered the chamber. But
now he had certain indicators to know if anyone had entered the room. So you would put like little things in place where only you would know, like you'd put like something behind the door. So if that door's been opened, it moves a little bit further back. You'd be like, hold on, I didn't leave it there. So certain little things in place. Most people do it with their house to put certain little things in place so you know if something's been touched. Go ahead. Just think Matilda, the woman used to leave the chocolates in a certain place, man. What's her name? Miss Trunchbull. Miss Trunchbull smelt the box and said, yo, someone's ate one of these chocolates, man. There's certain things that people put in place where they will know. You won't know, but they will know. Listen, if you got any older siblings, they know if you've been in their bedroom or not, because they know, I didn't leave the bed like that. I didn't leave this like that. I didn't leave the curtain like that. Go ahead.
But was relieved to find that no one had been inside during his months spent overseas.
So he was overseas and now he's relieved that no one's even been in that room. Go ahead.
Guy was also concerned at the effect that the damp conditions could have taken on the gunpowder, although the cellar was not as wet as the tunnel they had been working on.
So now they was digging a tunnel. So in the beginning, they're digging the tunnel, trying to get right on there where they were trying to blow up. Go ahead.
It was still affected by the proximity of the River Thames. Opening the barrels and testing the powder by rubbing it between his fingers, Guy realized that some of the powder had deteriorated to the state where it would be unreliable.
How would he know? Because he knew about explosives, man. Guy Fawkes was a terrorist, man. Like that's the only way I can put it. Guy Fawkes today is what a terrorist is. Go ahead.
Cancer. And so, with the assistance of realized that some of the gunpowder had deteriorated to a state where it would be unreliable. And so, with the assistance of Thomas Winter, he replenished his stock. Meanwhile, Mr. Fawkes and myself alone bought some new powder, as suspecting the first to be dank, and conveyed it into the cellar and set it in order as we resolved it should stand.
So now they brought new gunpowder. Go ahead.
There was one man as yet that Catesby had not called upon, and that he knew was wealthier than anyone yet recruited.
So now he
And
needs to recruit rich men. Why? Because they're running out of money. So now he needs to recruit a rich Catholic man that's willing to put some money in. Go ahead.
And so on 14th October, at the Catholic Lord Storton's house, Catesby recruited his cousin Francis Tresham. Tresham was not only rich, having married wisely, as well as inheriting property from his father.
So now he was rich because he married wisely, meaning married a woman that's got money, man. Listen, women try and do that. Women try and marry wisely so they can get a man with money. Go ahead. In reverse, he married wisely, got him a woman with money. Go ahead.
As well as inheriting property from his father, Sir Thomas Tresham. He had also proved his worth to the Catholic cause. He, alongside Catesby and others, had been involved in the Essex Rebellion and imprisoned for it. And he had also worked alongside Catesby in sending Thomas Wintour to Spain. Tresham was also a well-connected family, with two of his sisters being married to the Catholic Lord Storton and Monteagle, respectively. Why then was Francis Tresham added to the plot as an afterthought,
Tresham,
a last resort?
Now they call the letter the Monteagle letter because those Catholics that worked in that House of Parliament and his sisters was married to them. So he tried to warn them, yo, don't go Parliament that day, something's going to happen. And that's how the plot was revealed. So, Lucky, go ahead.
Tresham complied with neither of these requests, although he later admitted giving a little money to Thomas Wintour. Tresham questioned the validity of the plot, asking if it was right that Catholic lords who would be in Parliament that day would die along with the Protestant lords.
See, and there was like, yo, he understood the Catholics who was in the house that day, House of Parliament, they would die along with the Protestants. Go ahead.
It was a question that others in the plot had already raised with Catesby, and while Tresham spoke up for his brothers-in-law,
his brothers-in-law was going to be there. Now he knows his sisters are going to be heartbroken if their husbands die, man. So he's in a position like, oh shit, I need to find a way for them not to go there. Go ahead.
For his brothers-in-law, Sturton and Monteagle, other members of the plot championed Lords Vaux, Mordaunt, and Montague, and Thomas Percy stood up for his longtime master, Earl of Northumberland. Catesby responded that it was a shame if they were to die too, but that to warn them directly risked destroying their whole plot.
And it was right, man, because he goes, if he warns them directly, that destroys the whole plot. So Catesby was like, yo, they're gonna have to die, man. He's like, yo, they're gonna have to be collateral damage because we need to rule, and some of them just are gonna have to die so we can get this rule. Because if we warn them, that's gonna expose the plot. Go ahead.
Reluctantly, at least if his own confessions is to be believed, Francis Tresham agreed to join the plot and be guided by his cousin. Nevertheless, on one occasion it seemed that Catesby defied his own instructions. Lord Montague, the man who had employed Guy Fawkes at Cowdray House, testified that he chanced upon Catesby while walking in the Savoys, a Thameside area of the Strand, on 15th of October. Perhaps Tresham's pleas a day earlier were fresh in Catesby's mind, for he stopped Montague and said, "The Parliament, I think, brings your lordship up now. I think your lordship takes no pleasure to be there.
And now he told them, yo, he's basically said, yo, there's something going on there. You don't want to be there. Now, if someone says that to you, you'll be like, yo, what do you mean by that? Hey, go ahead.
On one reading, an inconsequential chat, but on another reading, a thinly veiled warning for Lord Montague to stay away from the opening of Parliament.
And now they tried to get him to stay away from the opening of Parliament. Why? Because he don't want him to die and get blown up. So he's trying to tell him subtly like, yo, don't go that day. But obviously someone tells you don't go somewhere on a certain day, you're gonna be like, yo, why? Okay, go ahead.
As it happens, Viscount Montague did not attend Parliament on 5th of November. If it was a coincidence, it was a costly one, for it placed him under suspicion.
Because he didn't attend, because he told him not to attend, it placed him under suspicion. And that would place anybody under suspicion. I mean, some people's like, yo, because on the day of the Twin Towers, some people didn't come to work. So they was like, yo, that's dodgy. That is, how did they know not to come to work that day? So there's certain things where something happens, you're going to be under suspicion. They'll be like, hold on. And you know why you'll be under suspicion? Because they're going to be like, hold on. So you knew and you didn't want nobody else. Everybody will look at you like, damn, what a horrible human being, man. It's lucky, go ahead.
My lord, out of love I bear to some of your friends, I have a care of your preservation. Therefore, I would advise you as a tender, Slakia, as you tender your life, to devise some excuse to shift your attendance at this Parliament. For God and man have concurred to punish the wickedness of this time. And think not slightly of this advertisement, but retire yourself into your country, where you may expect the event in safety. For though there be no appearance of any stir, yet I say they shall receive a terrible blow. This Parliament.
It says they shall receive a terrible blow. That's what it says, man. They shall receive a terrible blow. So they was gonna blow them up, man. Go ahead.
And yet they shall not see who hurts them. This counsel is not to be condemned, because it may do you good and can do you no harm. For the danger is past as soon as you have burnt the letter. And
so
I
now
hope,
they said burn this letter afterwards. Go ahead.
And I hope God will give you the grace to make good use of it, to whose holy protection I commend you.
Hold on, let me just one. Yeah, go ahead.
Who then was the writer of the Montego letter?
They're asking who's the writer. Hold on. I gotta skip some of these. I'm trying to. Yeah, go ahead.
As one day turned into the next.
So now this is guy. The last slide will let you know that they came in. He told him his name was John Johnson. They left and they had a funny feeling. They said, "No, something ain't right." So now they've gone back. So now he's in the room with the gunpowder. Go ahead.
Guy heard a faint noise from outside the cellar. He opened the door to see what was amiss. But stepping forward into the darkness, he found himself blinded by the light of a lamp thrust into his face. A man was upon him, who knocked Guy off his feet and pinned him to the floor. Guy overcame his momentary confusion, and a brief yet fierce struggle ensued, in which Guy crushed the man's hand so fiercely that he considered drawing his dagger and stabbing him before thinking better of it.
So yeah, Guy Fawkes was trained, man. He was a warrior, trained swordsman, knifeman. They said he was big as well. He weren't no small dude.
Armed men came to the guard's aid.
Guy Fawkes was having him up, man. So Guy Fawkes was having him up, and armed men came to the guard's aid. Go ahead.
dragging Guy to his feet and binding his hands behind his back. Pushed into the cellar, Guy was, Salakia, sir, powerless to resist as he watched the men tear away at the wood coverings, hearing their curses as the barrels of gunpowder were uncovered
Them man swore their
and
hell off.
then opened.
Them man said, Ross Clark, man. That's what they said when they saw them got that gunpowder uncovered, man. They said, man, yo, I'm telling you, them man was like, yo, the seen gunpowder uncovered. Slucky, go ahead.
Guy's pockets were searched next, and within them were discovered touchwood and a match.
So yeah, a match is in his hand, in his pocket. Go ahead.
The leader of the men approached Guy with his look of disgust on his face, but Guy returned with something approach. Salakia, but Guy returned it with something approaching a smirk. "You were lucky to find me outside the cellar," Guy said in a calm, confident manner, belying the sickening feeling growing within him. "Otherwise, none of you would be talking about it now, because you would have all been blown sky high."
But he told them, "You're lucky you caught me, because you all would have been blown up, man." He said, "You're lucky you caught me, because all of you would have been blown up." Yes, lucky. Go ahead.
The first instruments of torture used upon Guy Fawkes were the manacles.
So now, back then they had a punishment called the manacles. Go ahead.
These were chains fastened to the wall that were then attached to the wrists, leaving the prisoner's arms vertically extended. The prisoner stood on a series of wicker steps, which was then removed so that the whole of his weight was placed upon his arms, wrists, and hands. In Guy's case, we hear that he was suspended by his thumbs for hours.
So now they pinned him up by his thumbs, man. Imagine his thumbs is holding his whole body up. They pinned him up by his thumbs. Go ahead.
For hours on end. This was the gentler torture prescribed by the king. Guy would have felt the same sensations related by Father Gerald as he looked back to the time when he himself had been manacled in the tower.
Now they're talking about, hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Guy endured the same pain and met it with the same resolve. After being released from the manacles, he was then held in the cell known as the Little Ease, just 4 feet high, 16 inches wide, and 2 feet long. It was designed to prevent prisoners from being able to stand up, lie down, or sit in comfort, and must have been especially painful.
Imagine this, you're in there, you can't sit down, you can't stand up, you can't sleep, you can't lie down. Everything you're trying to do, you can't do it because it's too small. That's where they had him, man. Lucky, go ahead.
For a man of Guy's tall stature, the terrible trial of the manacles, and the threat of worse to come were added beatings and deprivation of sleep, light, and
Beat
food.
him, let him sleep, put bright light on him, put him in the dark. Go ahead.
And yet, Guy still refused to be bowed.
And Guy Fawkes still didn't grasp. Why? Because Guy Fawkes thought, you know what? They've got me here, but there's going to be an uprising, so they're going to come and get me. He thought, you know what? If I hold out and don't say nothing, the Catholics are going to come and rescue me. Until later on, he found out that, yo, they know about the uprising. They've captured all of them. That's when Guy Fawkes knew this is over for him. Go ahead.
On 8th of November, Ward wrote to Robert Cecil to report on his prisoner's steadfastness and obstinacy in the face of torture.
And listen, man, my man is not folding. Oh, so lucky. Listen, we're up on the time. We're gonna have to. I don't even know. We're up on the time. Clap it up. I can't even read this on the press. All right, so lucky. Go ahead, Benjamin. You can call it. You know to call it, right?
Got it on count, sir.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You can call it.
Men of Israel, I Madiam. I'm Madiam Sabat. I'm Madiam. Barak. Yahaba Shimia Shai Barakatha.
Yahaba Shemir Shabrakafam.
Yajad Mata. Class dismissed.
Well, again, Benjamin. S. Lucky Captain, stay there 1 second, Benjamin. He just needs to ask. Hold on. Let me see if we can end it on my screen. Oh, I can't even do it. You able to do it on the. Well,